This conference will now be recorded.
Class number 19th, right? Yeah. So today we will see how to do file incremental load. Okay. How to copy files incrementally from ADLS Gen 2 to ADLS Gen 2. Okay. It may be source can be on-premise any file system. It's similar to your ADLS Gen 2. Okay. But here for our example, I'm taking source and target is two different storages, ADLS Gen 2 to ADLS Gen 2. So, but what I am trying to do, copy files incrementally from ADLS Gen 2 to ADLS Gen 2. What it means is, let's say you have a folder called cust. Okay, we have a folder called EMP. You have a folder called orders. So what I want is, let's say I'm running a pipeline on daily basis. So in this cust folder, I have yesterday file, I have today file, and example last 30 days files I have, or last 30 days files I may have last 2 years data also I may have. What I want is, I want only the data which is loaded today, and I need to fetch the data whatever is there today. That data I'll take and copy into the cust out container in a ADLS Gen 2. Similarly, in the EMP also I have last 2 years files, but in that folder I need to identify only the files which we have today, and those files I need to copy into the EMP out. Similarly, orders files also, from orders I need to take only the files which is loaded today. I need to take only those files and copy into the orders out. Can somebody tell me how to achieve this? Because we discussed same lab already. I want to understand how many of you understood those things.
We need to create a
metadata, and
file.
from there we get today's data of the files only.
How?
We need to use get metadata activities to get today's data.
There is an option in get metadata, UTC now format.
Okay. Yes, good. At least you have came to some point. Okay. So remember, so I'll create a metadata file. Okay. Sorry, you cannot create a metadata file. You need to create a metadata table. Okay, because I need to update my timestamps and all. So now I'll create a metadata table. That metadata table I will read it using lookup activity, and I will pass it to the for each activity. So inside for each, I'll use copy activity. Okay, this copy activity is responsible to bring only the latest data. Okay, only today data which is greater than the last processed date that is there in the metadata table. Because in metadata table, I'll take source folder, sync folder, okay, last processed date, LPV date. Okay, just put LPV. So source folder, sync folder, and LPV. So I'm going to maintain a 3 different types of files. Okay, now. So let's try to create what is our source. Our source is ADLS Gen 2, our sync is ADLS Gen 2. We need a database for maintaining the metadata. In real time, remember, we are not going to create a database only for maintaining metadata. In any project, if you see, at least one database will be there. It may be Azure Synapse, or it may be on-premise SQL Server or Azure SQL database. At least one database will be there. Okay, so only for single metadata table we are not going to create a SQL database. So you have to maintain the metadata for different countries, lot of data you want to maintain, then you may create a SQL database. But I have not seen, except one of my project, I have never seen people are creating database only for metadata maintenance. We will maintain metadata in, okay, we will maintain metadata in Edu Synapse, because Edu Synapse is the common thing which we use in any project. Okay, one second. Okay, so that's why what we are going to do is we are going to maintain the Aegis SQL database now, but in the real time we may have one of the database for maintaining this table. Okay, that's why I'll create a source ADLS Gen2, source ADLS Gen2, sync ADLS Gen2. Okay. So sync ADLS Gen2, then we need to talk about the database. I need a fourth one is ADF. Okay, we need these four things: source, ADLS Gen2, sync ADLS Gen2, database, and ADF. So let's create these four. Then I'll talk about remaining things what we need. Everybody understood incremental load. So you all people are saying get metadata activity. No, you no need to go with the get metadata. I'll tell you very easily. First, let's create a SQL database, because SQL database will take more time. From Archie 6, click OK. Cloud Pandit is equal to create a server. Cloud Pandit is equal server. Next username I'm just entering here. Password. Click OK. Click review plus create. Click create. Deployment is started. Now let's create source SQL or source data lake storage Gen2. Go to storage account. Create storage account. Okay, Cloud Pandit -RJ6. I'll say Cloud Pandit source ADLS Gen2. Enable the hierarchical namespace. Click review plus create. Create it. This is very important lab, because in interview people will surely ask this to test your Azure data factory knowledge. Create a storage account. Cloud sync ADLS Gen2. Enable hierarchical namespace. Click review plus create. Click create. Now come here. Let's create data factory now. Click on data factory. Create data factory. Okay. Hit configuration, configure it later. Click review plus create. Click create. Okay. This is database source ADLS Gen2, sync ADLS Gen2, Then we have a data factory. Now come to source ADLS Gen 2. Go to containers. Create a container called input. Oh, sorry. Let's create a global. Under global, let's create a subfolders. Okay. Under global, I'm creating, let's say, landing. Or let's say source side, you can just directly create a table like cust folder, mp folder, orders. Okay, like this I have created. Okay, first I'll upload some files in each of this. First I'm just uploading. First one. Okay, I'm just uploading first one now. Employee one. Just upload. Go back. Take orders. Upload this. Okay, so this is orders, right? Orders, we have orders. Okay. Yeah. So orders one.csv, I'm just uploading. So one file I have uploaded into each of these folders. Okay, fine. So this is ADLS Gen 2. In ADLS Gen 2 also what I'll do, I'll just create a root container, but subfolders I'll create from the subfolders. I'll create from the Azure Data Factory. Okay, fine. Now come to SQL database. Go to resource. Go to overview. Click set server firewall. Come to add client IP. Allow edges services and resources to access the server. Save this. Okay, save it. Come back. Now click on for editor. Yeah, let me open Data Studio because we need to do a few more things today. Now click on this. So I need to put the server name. Wait for a minute. Copy the server name. Let's see. Dot data base.windows.net. Okay. So let me enter SQL Server authentication. SQL login. Username. Password. Database. This is the database. Click connect. It's not visible here, right? You have to clear left. Okay. Now click on this new query. Here what we will do is we will create a metadata table. First create table metadata. Source folder. varchar 50, varchar 100 it can be, comma, sync folder, varchar 100, lpv data. So now insert into values are very simple. What is the source folder? What is the source?
Schema name.
So
First EMP orders.
we created a global. So global is the same. You need to take cust you need to take. Okay, cust is the source container or source subfolder. Output side I need to load it into the cust out. Okay, let's say. And the last process value I'll tell you how to get it. Okay, similarly for EMP also, it's a EMP out orders order out. Okay, fine. Now how to get the last process value? Last process value how to get is come to storage. So this is the time 7:13 we uploaded, but this time in IST or UTC? Is it in IST or UTC? IST. Now basically if you remember, get metadata activity last modified by which format it will take?
UTC.
UTC. Okay. Now what I need to do this time, I need to convert into UTC and I need to keep it there. Okay, so that's why what I'll do, I'll come here. Okay, so here what we need to do is we need to make record changes. 7:13 AM IST to UTC 1:43 AM. Okay, 1:43 AM means I'll just say 1:30. Okay, 20. What is the date today? 2022 07 07, right? 0701 0130 00. So for all the files I'm taking same time, meaning so even though the file which I have uploaded now, that also I need to pick it, because so those files are basically uploaded after this date 1:30 UTC to IST. You can type it 1:30 UT 1:30 AM, right? 1:30 AM UTC to IST. See here, it's what is time 7 AM. So at 7 AM only we started the class, meaning all the files which we have uploaded, all those we uploaded after 7 o'clock. After 7 o'clock, that's why I'm saying after 7 o'clock, whatever files I have in the cust folder, EMP folder, order folder, can you just give me only the files which are loaded or which are modified after 1:30. 1:30 means 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Clear all of you? Everybody is clear on this? Any questions still here? Last modified date, please look into it. Okay. Now you understood till here, right? Now we will see how we can able to let's create this table first. Okay, create it. Now come to your this one Azure Data Factory. This. What happened? It is not loading. Okay, open Azure Data Factory now. So whenever these kind of issues comes, you can clear your cache and reload it. Okay. If it is taking more time, that is the problem. Now come to manage tab and let's have a 3 connection. One is for Azure SQL database. This is the subscription. This is the server name. Everything is slow, I think. I'm not sure what is the problem. Cloud at the rate 123. So databases, this is the databases. Test connection. Something is issue. Everything is taking too much time. So test connection is successful created. Okay. Yeah, there is issue from EDF and I think. After opening ADF, it should not take this much time. So, okay, it's done. Now let's go to ADLS Gen 2. LS for ADLS Gen 2. The source connection, okay. If it is like this, we can't do the lab. Cloud Pandit, what is storing? Cloud Pandit source ADLS Gen 2. Cloud Pandit source ADLS Gen 2. Key, see how much time it is taking today. Create it. Okay. So source connection also we have created now. Let's create the sync connection now. Gen 2 storage ADLS Gen 2 LS for ADLS Gen 2 sync. Come down. So let me try here. The issue with our system or ADF itself. Okay, now you see sync ADLS Gen 2, everything is coming and create it. Okay, that is the issue with the browser and that, right? Now we have done. Now come to pipeline, create a new pipeline here. Okay. So first thing is lookup activity you need to use lookup activity. What is the use of having lookup activity? For reading metadata. So as we have multiple items, uncheck this. Okay, then click new. So we have metadata in the see. See, you know most of the stuff. 70% of the stuff you know already. Okay, for today lab. So yeah. Sorry, it's a DS, right? DS for ADLS Gen 2. Shit. DS for is equal DB to get a metadata, or you can say it's used in the lookup and use this linker service, and you can select the table name. Okay, no issues. Click OK. just to debug this. Okay, so what you can do is here these are values we need to take, right? Values we need to pass it to what? Values we need to pass it to. There are 3 items, 1, 2, 3 values we need to pass it to the for each activity. So just search for each activity, bring it, pass this lookup to for each activity, come to settings, sequential, add dynamic content, lookup value array. Okay, so inside for each you can use the copy activity. It's simple, right? So what is source? What is your source? ADLS, sorry, ADLS Gentoo. Select as ADLS Gentoo CS reference. CS for ADLS Gentoo source. So source is the linked service. Okay, this is the source is the linked service. Browse it, select global, click OK. Under global, you can see directory. What is this directory? First is that there. What is directory? Click OK. Yeah, so directory is nothing but a subfolder. We need to pass it. How to pass the subfolder? Come to dataset, source dataset, parameters. Okay, click new parameter, ds param for source folder. Okay, come to connection, directory, add dynamic content. You can just select this folder. I need to pass this folder name. How I can able to pass the folder name here? Item dot, you can see here. Item dot
Source
folder.
Source folder.
Add dynamic content. Item dot source folder. Click OK. Okay. Next sync. Where you want to load this data? Gentoo. Gentoo. Add CSV. Here for demo we want to linked services. This is the sync. First is that the browse it. Select global and subfolder. I need to pass it through the. I need to pass it through the dataset parameter. If you have not practiced very basic lab, nobody can help you. Okay, pipeline 1. Here you need to pass the item. Item dot
sync folder.
Okay. Now, when the source is a folder, what you need to do in the copy activity? Basic labs, nobody is able to answer. Very simple one, you are not able to answer. Means I can understand how much you are practicing. Okay, you need to enable the wildcard file path. Next. So here you see filter by last modified date, start date. This is not a get metadata activity. Similar to get metadata activity, same options available even in the copy activity. Okay, so here you need to pass your last process date so that you will get a data which is modified after that particular date. Okay, after that particular date you will be able to process it. Okay, clear?
Yes.
So once repeat.
So you have 10 files, like last 10 days data you have in the same folder. Let's say if you pass a cust, in the cust last 10 days data is there. If you pass EMP is having last 10 days data. But I need to get only the data that is loaded after this date, after this last modified date. How you can do is you need to take this and you need to pass it to here. You need to pass it here. If you pass it here, it will go and bring the files which are modified after this particular date. After this particular date. This is the first thing that you need to understand in this lab. This is the first thing. How many of you understood this? How many of you did not understand this?
Malaya 130 we need to give or
130, yes, we need to pass this entire value. Got it?
yeah.
How many of you understood? See, this is the first step in today lab. Okay. Now the second thing is, if you think little bit, okay, if you think little bit, what I wanted to do is, let's say this is a, where is that? Okay, so I'll tell you directly, you may understand later. I need to create a one variable. I'll tell you why I'm creating variable. Create a one variable here. PL variable for upper bound value. Upper bound. Okay. So now go inside for each copy activity. You need to pass last modified date, means you need to pass the last processed value that you have in your item. Item dot what I need to put? LPV. Item dot LPV. Click OK. Okay. Item dot LPV you need to use. Item dot LPV. Now what about end date? So from what date to what date you want to pick the data is, so I am going to use a set variable activity. Careful observe here. This set variable, before I run my copy activity, what I will use is, for this upper bound I will assign a UTC now. What is the UTC time now? So that particular date I will take. Okay, that particular date I will take. So example 130 is the thing that we have at the last process date. What will be the UTC now? What will be the UTC now means?
Current time.
7
1 AM, sir.
Will be 2 AM, Mr. Malaya.
Not even 2. 130 means 7. So 219. It should be 219. Okay. See 29. Sorry. It's a 29. Meaning when you put a current UTC now means it will give you 29. So last processed value is 130. So what happens is from 132 this particular variable upper bound, okay, from 132 to 9, whatever files are available, all those files will be readied from the customer table, customer folder, and it will copy into the custom. Next day from the EMP, so next iteration from EMP also, last LPVs, let's say LPV you can just think as same 130. So now the time is 7:10. So from 130 to 210, whatever files are there, 130 to 210, you need to talk about in UTC. Okay, this is 130, this is a 210. So between 130 to 210, whatever files are there for EMP, that will be copied and so on. Okay, let's say you have copied the data now till 210 or 29. You need to update it in the metadata table, isn't it? You need to update it in the metadata table, isn't it? Yes, or no? How to
Yes.
update it in the metadata table?
With help of store procedure.
Exactly, we need to create a stored procedure. You already know, create proc, okay, metadata underscore USP as begin end. Okay, update metadata set, okay, set LPV equal to @LPV, where, okay, LPV I will pass it dynamically. Okay, one parameter where source folder equal to @source, because 29 only I have to submit for first, 210 I need to give it for the EMP, but I cannot update everything at 210, something like that, right? So when I copied the customer table last processed value, I need to update from the variable. After that, EMP folder I'll copy. After that, order folder I'll copy. Once I copy cust folder, I need to update the last processed value for cust. Once I copy EMP last processed value I need to update. That's why I need a source folder and LPV to filter out which row I need to update. Okay, end. Clear. Now I need to put here what at the rate LPV. LPV is a I think it's a string only, so you can just put varchar 50. Next at the rate
Source folder.
source folder, that also you can consider as a varchar 50.
LPV is date and time, is it?
Date and time, but here we are considering as a string. Okay. If you want to consider as a date time, you can just consider as a date time, no issues. Okay.
Thank you.
So here I have given date time only. So if you want to give it as a date time here, let's give it as a date time, no issues. Yeah, okay. So now I'm creating this. Already created. 1 second, let me delete it. How to drop? Drop, drop it, then you create this. Okay, clear? Now come here. You need to use what? Stored procedure activity. Okay, let me ask somebody who understood. I need to see. Prithvi, tell me, Prithvi, for this stored procedure, I need to pass it 2 parameters. Okay, so this settings, linked services, this. My stored procedure is this one. Where is that? It is loading. Yeah, this is the one. Input parameter.
Input
I'm
schema.
importing parameters. Can you tell me how to get the LPV? What will be the LPV? Only Prithvi. Only Prithvi. I'll ask. Prithvi, what will be the LPV value I need to pass?
So go to add dynamics.
Add dynamic.
It will be system variables.
Okay, stop it. Okay, Srija left. Sri Lakshmi, can you guess it? Raju sir. Shavans. Seema. Sirisha. What will be the LPV that I need to pass it to stored procedure? See, I don't know. Fine. You want only training, I will give you training. See, you people are not interested to learn why you are here. You need to understand very simple. LPV we are passing from the metadata table, and this upper bound value I am getting from this variable. So this is 1:30 to 2:16, 2 o'clock 16 minutes. Whatever data is modified, entire data I am fetching and copying into the target folder. Now, what is the maximum value I am passing? 216. How I am passing 216 using this variable? Meaning, so I have copied up to 216 means that 216 only I need to update it as a current last process value using the same variable. How to get the source folder, at least Prithvi?
Go to dynamic, add dynamic contents. Go to scroll down. Sir. That upper bound, sir. Upper bound. Yes, PL.
Okay. I need to give the sync folder. Click OK. Okay. Any questions? Run this pipeline. Basic things you people are not aware. What you can understand. So how many files are copied here if you see? So one file is copied. There's only one file is there for me. And I can also see. So modify date from 1:30 to 2:17, 17 seconds. So date end is between 1:30 to 2:17, 17 seconds. Whatever data is there, that entire data it has copied. So now 2:17, 17 is the upper bound value that I need to take and update. So that's why you can see 2:17, 17, 23 milliseconds. So this is the upper bound value. This is basically for which table? Oh shit, I also made mistake.
It will copy the multiple file also, right?
Yes, if you have a multiple files which are loaded in that particular time frame, it will do. It should be source folder, not set folder.
Malay, can we take this metadata information in ADLS Gen 2? Will it work
Yes,
instead of
but
database?
you cannot update the last processed value if you take it the metadata in ADLS. That's why I've taken in a database. After copying data, I need to update my last processed value, right?
Okay.
Prudhir, tell me why I am using lookup activity here.
So to get the metadata information, sir.
Huh?
Metadata information, sir, from the table.
What metadata information? What all details we have in metadata table?
Sir, your source folder, sync folder, sir, and LPV.
Why we need LPV?
For storing we last processed value, sir, for storing that.
For storing last processed value only. Why you need to store last processed value?
To update it now, sir, for the current time.
Update current time. Seema, why we need to store last processed value in metadata table? Savans. Monica, why we need to store a last processed value in metadata table? Okay. At least Prithvi is better, what I feel. He is whether right or wrong is answer. Remaining people, I don't know whether you people are in the session or out of the session. Fine, Prithvi. So why we are using the last processed value in the lookup in the metadata is because we are example, let's say you have loaded yesterday one file, okay, in a cust folder. Now how many files we have in the cust folder? One file. Today I loaded one more file in the cust folder. How many files are there in the cust folder? Two files. Okay. So one more file I load into the cust folder tomorrow. How many files will be there in the cust? Three. Now on yesterday when I run a pipeline, it has copied this data. It has already copied this data. Okay. Now today when I am running my copy activity, I don't want to pick this file which I already loaded today. So that's why I'm saying after I loaded this file, I'll say, okay, I loaded this file at example yesterday 2022 06:30 10 o'clock 10 minutes 10 seconds I loaded. I'll say whatever files are available in this cust folder till this particular time, Yesterday till 10 o'clock, whatever data is there, that entire data I already copied. That is the mark, that indicator we are storing in this metadata table. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, when you are loading today, what you are going to do is you will say you have how many files today in the cust folder?
1.
What one file?
Sir, already it is executed now, sir.
Executed, but how many files are there? You have not deleted, right? That file still available. So today you
Sir,
have 2 files.
if we
One is
execute 2,
one is yesterday file.
sir.
2
Yesterday,
files are there in the first folder. Now, out of these 2 files, which file you need to copy?
today's
This
file.
file. Okay. This today file you need to copy. How you will get only today file from the folder is you need to give this particular date. You need to give this date saying that can you just give me the file which came after this particular time. Yesterday 10 o'clock, after yesterday 10 o'clock, whatever files are came into this custom folder, can you give me only those files? So to tell that we need to store this particular indicator. Okay, let's
Yes,
say
sir.
I'll give this time, then it will give me only this file, because this is the file which came after this time. Yesterday after 10 o'clock only this file came, so that file I copied today. Okay, copied today. So what is current time? Current time is let's say current date and time is 2022 07 01 07 53 00. So now what I need to give is I need to give this particular date as a last process value. I need to update this metadata table with this current date, because now I copied up to here. Tomorrow when I'm running my pipeline, how many files are there in custom
3.
folder? Only 3. Out of 3, which file we need to copy? Today file. Today file means tomorrow file basically. Okay, this file I need to copy. To copy this file, what you need? If you simply
Yesterday's date, sir.
copy, if you point to the custom folder, if you try to copy, it will copy everything. But you need to copy only this file. How you will copy only this file? You need to tell the file which came after this date. After this date and time, whatever files came from this cust folder, can you give me only those files? So you will copy this file at around 10 o'clock tomorrow. Then you will update a tomorrow date saying that 2022 07 01 02 10 o'clock. I have till 10 o'clock. Between this and this, whatever data I have in this cust folder, I have copied. Like that you need to copy. That's why I am storing the last processed value in this particular metadata. Clear now?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Now you pass all this information to the lookup activity. Okay, lookup will read all this metadata like this as items. Okay, item 1, item 2, item 3. Pass it to the for each, for each will give one by one. But in this we have only last processed value. Okay, from date we have, see, we need 2 things. From we need, and till end date also we need. From we need, end date we need. From is we will get it from the last process value from the metadata. Okay, so but we need a end date. To get a end date, I am generating the upper bound end date UTC. Now current time, what is the current time? Let's say I have copied data till today 1:30. Okay, so 1:32 now UTC time is basically UTC time is now 2:25. Okay, so 1:30 to 2:25 in today date, 1:30 to 2:25, whatever data is there, that data I am asking from the copy activity. How? UTC now will give 2:25 time will give. 1:30 is already there in my, see, 1:30 is already there in my last process value. You see 1:30. Okay, in copy activity I am pointing to the folder wildcard file option. If you're not giving this filter, it will give you everything, all the files it will read. But what I'm saying, you give me the files. Okay, you give me the files from the folder which modified from 130. LPV is nothing but 130. Upper bound is 256 or 226. Now you see 756 means in UTC it's a 226. So 130 to 226, whatever data is updated, only give me that. It will give you that data, copy into sync. then you update the stored procedure with a upper bound value. What is upper bound value? 226. That 226 you are passing to this LPV. What happens? This 130 will become a 226. For which table? So suppose for each has given cost table, you did everything for the cost table. So now you need to say LPV, you need to update against the cost folder. So under this particular row. So here instead of 130, you need to put 227, like that we are going to say. How many have
Malaya,
understood this?
small question here.
Tell
Hello.
me. Tell me.
Yeah, like why we are keeping the upper bound value? Like, are we getting some future date file also? Because if we just process like greater than last process, still it will process the latest file and latest data, right?
Latest
Like,
data, latest date you will get it, but what value will update? What value you
yeah,
will
like
update it?
yeah. So my observation is like, suppose it is last processed at 130. So if you just put like greater than 130, then whatever latest after 130, whatever data will be updated, that will process, as per my observation.
That will copy. I am asking what you will update in the stored procedure. See, 130 you copied. Now you need to update this value. What value will update here? I am saying.
So
Okay,
not here,
so
Malaya. In copy,
Oh.
can you go to copy data activity?
Hmm.
Here in this end time, it's not mandatory. We can keep it blank, right? End time.
No.
yeah, that is my question. ETL we do like that, like whatever last process, we just capture that time and put it. So
You
after
should not.
later also just compare with the last process.
Okay, so you should not take up. You should not leave end date. The reason is, example, you started copying data from 130. Okay, and basically pipeline is started running from 225. Okay, 130 to 225, whatever files are there you picked. Okay, but at the time of running your stored procedure, the time is, this copy activity took 10 minutes. Now the time is 2:35. so if you generate a current date time in the year, stored procedure 2:35 will update, but between 2:25 to 2:35 whatever files comes, you are going to lost those things. First thing. Second thing is, let's say I will just use this upper bound in the stored procedure, but if you're not using here, what happens? You generated 225, but you are not mentioning 225. Maybe the file which came at 226 already copied. Okay, that file you will update here as a 226, 225 only, because upper bound you have taken 226, but the copy activity is copied up to 226. This is 225 you have taken, but the copy activity has taken file which is loaded at 226 also. The reason is we have not mentioned any upper bound value. So there will be a duplicate data will be copied into the sink. Got it?
Yes, got it.
It will be scheduled at specific time, right? So the pipeline will be scheduled at specific time.
Yes, even if you schedule at specific time, what happens? You need to look at the activities level. So 225, your upper bound is generated, but when the copy activity is running, it picked up 226. What happens?
So like once the copy activity will be like started, so whatever time till the runtime, whatever data will be coming, so it will be copied. That is what you mean.
So
Or
that's why
whenever we just
the upper bound you need to put these time frames. If you're not putting these time frames, maybe you may copy duplicate data or you may lose some data.
yeah.
Yes, tell me any questions.
Hi, Malaya. This is Chittaranjan. Why are you keeping all the 3 files in this folder? Once it was loaded, why you are not archiving that files? Is it possible, right?
Keeping
All 3 files is there. Let's say one file is loaded that
that
based on the
not the
time frame.
why I am not putting. There are project real-time scenarios are there.
No, I'm just telling you, man. Generalize, I'm just saying
No,
that.
I
Let's
am also telling you there are some clients they are not interested. Maybe some log files or some files will be there. Those log files or whatever files they will load it into the same folder. I'm saying that is the real-time scenario. Why they are putting is that's how they will design the architecture.
No, here also we can also make the designing, right? Once it was loaded, then we can archive it, right?
Where you load it, where you want to do archival.
No, I mean, once the source file, let's say one file is there today, let's say it's loaded one file. Once it is loaded to the destination.
But if you want, you can do it. See, our lab is something different. Your question is something. Archival, if you want to do, you can do it. You can simply use one more copy activity. You can move it into the another folder, archival folder. Then you use delete activity to delete from the source folder. What is there?
Yeah.
Our purpose is if we have a multiple files in a same folder, how to fetch the latest file or which we have not copied. That is the goal. If you want to move it into archive folder, you can move it into archive folder very easily. You use another copy activity, you point sync to the archival folder, and you use delete activity to delete from the source.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Next. Okay, so now I have not ran.
I have one question. Suppose instead of UTC, I have some other standard like EST or IST. So do I need to add that much hours, or we have a function for that different?
If you want to do those conversions and all, you can able to do. You have the conversion function here. Basically, see, this will accept only in UTC. If you are bringing some data in EST, IST or something, suppose you are bringing it in a IST, you need to convert into UTC. Okay, so from date functions, you can see here format date time. 1 second. There are some conversion functions that you can able to use. The date functions, if you expand, see, convert from UTC. From UTC, if you want to convert anything into the see IST, if you want to convert UTC to IST or PST, anything you can put it like this: convert from UTC. Give the UTC time. If you want to convert into IST, India Standard Time, you can give here. Okay. So this is the converting from any time to UTC. Again, from UTC to IST, if you want to convert, see, convert time zone. Okay, convert time zone. You give your time zone which is there in your UTC. Okay, this is basically you have in UTC. You want to convert into PST. Suppose you have this in IST. You want to convert into UTC. Then you can give your IST and you can give your UTC. Okay.
Okay,
so yeah, so you have all these things, conversion functions that you can use to convert. Next. So now, yeah, so I'm just using the lower bound and upper bound value. So I'm just running pipeline now. Sync folder already data is copied. I think it is going to copy once again. And that's okay. We can see here. So the data which has taken is from 130 to 235. Whatever files are modified, those files it is going to take. We know there is only one file we have between that time, so it is going to take only that file. Okay, one file. Next. So then it is going to take upper bound value as a 235 and update it in the metadata table for cust. Similarly, this is another copy data activity which basically copying data from 130 to 235, 49 seconds. Between these timestamp, whatever files are there that it is going to copy, still we have only one file that will copy and update the metadata table. Now we will see for everything is 130 earlier. Now if you look at metadata table, 235, it's a 236. Next time what happens? So it is going to take the files which are loaded after this date. Let's say now I'm going to load. So let's rerun without uploading anything. What will happen? Okay, what will happen? Let's debug. What will happen now? Tell me. Files
It
are
should
not
not
going to
copy
Nothing will happen.
Only that last
Nothing
process
will-
value should change.
Yeah,
No,
last
the copy.
process value only will change, but files will not copy because there is no files between this timestamp. Now the timestamp you can see between 235 to 236, because last process you have already copied up to 235. From 235 to 236, is there any new files? It checked. Is there any new file? You can check here. You can ask. So zero files written because there is no new files between that timestamp. So that's why it did not copy anything. Then it is using stored procedure to update the last processed value as 236. Earlier it was 235. Now it's at 236. Same here also, it is copying data from 235 to 237. So in this, within these 2 minutes, is there any new files? No new files available because we are not copied anything. So that's why 0 files are copied into the target. Then stored procedure will update what? Max value. That is 237. Set variable again. Oh, sorry. 0 files copied from this copy activity. You can see from 236 to 237. Is there any files? There is no files. It did not copy anything. Now if you go here and see, it's a 235, 235, 236. But if you update now and see, it's a 236, 237, 237. Last process value is update. Now I'll upload some files and rerun. What will happen? Let's say I'll just upload my, so in only in orders I'll upload multiple files. Okay, maybe it can be any type of files. Let's upload simply 3 files are uploaded. Okay, 3 files are uploaded into the orders. Under EMP I'll upload 1. Under EMP I'm uploading some file. You can upload. Under EMP I uploaded 1 file. Under orders I uploaded 3. Now we will run our Python 1 second. Okay, everybody is getting now. See, this is you need to analyze why I'm using like this. Even if I explain 10 times, you will not be able to understand. These all are real-time scenarios. So you need to analyze and understand. Whatever possible ways I have explained. If you still did not get it, you need to analyze. Come up with the questions tomorrow morning 6:30 to 7. I'll clarify. So copy data activity, now we are trying from 236 to 239. Okay, for the, I think it's for cust table, we know there is no data available for the cust. See, 0 files copied. Okay, so because cust does not have anything, now I think this is EMP. EMP is having 1 file, so it should copy 1 file. See, 1 file is copied. Now order is having how many files between this time? Orders is having how many files between 237 to 239? 3 files. So we will see whether files are available. Yes, yes. The 3 files we'll see. See, 3 files read, 3 files are written. Clear? If I rerun once again, what happens?
It will update the LV
No copy
value.
activity
Only
will
time
happen, but
will
the
not
last
copy the
process
data.
value will change again.
Come here, see 236, 237, 237, but if you run it, 239, 239, 239. So everything is updated to 239. If you run it, nothing is going to copy, but LP value is going to update as a current timestamp because it is going to check from 239 to till now. There is no files. So as it is not, there is no files, it will just update it as a max value, that is current value. Clear, everybody? Any questions? Any questions? 0 files copied. Anyone is having any questions, friends? Copy data activity 0 files. Okay, nothing is going to copy because all these folders are not having any latest files. Okay, this is also 0 files. That's all completed. 3 copy activities. Now come here. Check metadata. It's updated to 241, 241, 241. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, can we implement like if there is no file, then we should not update LVP?
So what is the use of not updating the LPV if there is no files? You cannot go and update to the previous states, right? You cannot go and
No.
upload a file with the previous state, right?
No, in that case, nothing should be done.
Huh? No. What I'm saying is, if there is no file, you can just put one more condition. You can simply put one more condition. If count is 0, then don't run stored procedure. If the count is not equal to 0, run stored procedure. Your scenario will be solved. But my question is, what is the use of doing that? Because you are not going to upload a file with the past date now, right? Now let's say I will upload a file. Can I modify my last modified date as a 8 o'clock 9 minutes? No, I cannot do. Because if I am uploading file at 8:12, it will be 8:12 only. Metadata, I cannot change it. It's not in your control. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
So that's why your scenario, you can achieve it, but there is no use, I'm saying. Fine. Any other questions? Okay, if no questions, then thank you all.